This month is National Backup Month, and to celebrate, our team at iTernal Networks would like to cover some topics that can help your company optimize its data storage. Cloud computing has revolutionized the way that we do business, but cloud services can also come with a downside: cloud waste. Cloud waste is the unnecessary spending of resources and money on cloud services. These services are often not fully utilized or optimized. In fact, about 32% of overall cloud spending is wasted. Who wants to waste money on storing data as storage prices slowly skyrocket? But 32% of wasted storage also holds opportunity. It means that you can reduce nearly a third of your cloud spending by optimizing how you use your cloud tools. Today, I'm going to be discussing some simple and quick tactics that you can use to reduce your cloud waste. Hello, everyone, and happy Friday. I'm Michael Kinnett, CEO and founder of iTernal Networks. And every Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific time, I go live on Facebook, YouTube, X, and Instagram and to discuss the latest tech and cybersecurity news that might affect you and your business. In these live streams, I cover educational topics to help fellow small business owners feel more confident about their knowledge of business technology and cybersecurity. At iTernal Networks, our goal is to help people stop worrying about their IT so that they can do what they love. At the end of the live stream, I'll also be answering questions from the audience. So if you have any questions, get them ready. I'll cover those at the end. First off, some items from the news. We've talked a little bit about the United Health hack, and the United States government has announced plans to expedite Medicare and Medicaid payments to hospitals that were affected by the cyber attack on United Health subsidiary Change Healthcare. The attack has been attributed to the Black Cat ransomware group and has disrupted various aspects of the healthcare system, including electronic pharmacy refills and insurance transactions. However, medical associations such as the American Hospital Association and the American Medical Association have criticized the government's response, deeming it insufficient to address the scale of the situation. They've called for more extensive financial assistance, similar to measures that were implemented during the COVID-19 pandemic, to alleviate cash flow concerns for healthcare providers that have been unable to submit claims and receive payments. The Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services have advised hospitals to request accelerated payments for individual consideration and encourage Medicare Advantage plans to offer advanced funding to affected providers. So it's nice to see the government's responding to that. Definitely a lot of other things coming out of this cyber attack that has affected lots of healthcare organizations around the country. Also, the FBI just recently released their Internet Crime Complaint Center. The FBI's Internet Crime Complaint Center has released their 2023 Internet Crime Report, revealing a concerning 22% increase in reported losses compared to 2022. Reaching a total of $12.5 billion with a B dollars. With 880,000 complaints submitted to the FBI in 2023, a 10% rise from the previous year. Notably, business email compromises have led the way. Investment fraud, ransomware, and tech/customer support and government impersonation scams have also caused some significant financial losses in 2023. Business email compromise scams alone resulted in over $2.9 billion in losses. Fraudsters have been increasingly utilizing cryptocurrency platforms for fund dispersal. Ransomware attacks impacted critical infrastructure sectors, resulting in estimated losses exceeding $59.6 million. Though this figure likely underrepresents the actual extent due to unreported payments. I talked about this extensively about a year ago when the 2022 report was released. And these numbers are only the reported numbers. So organizations that pay ransomwares that are affected that never report it to the government for one reason or another are not counted in this. And so actual losses and actual damage is expected to be significantly higher. It's crucial to recognize that this is the way that we live, right? That cybersecurity attacks have continued to climb the last 3-4 years. And we fully expect them to continue to climb as criminals attack the organizations in the United States, especially. All right, one last thing I do want to talk about There is an increased number of attacks on WordPress websites that we're seeing. Hackers have initiated widespread attacks, injecting crypto wallet drainer scripts to steal cryptocurrency assets from visitors to those websites. The campaign has been identified by security firm Securi. It has evolved to hijacking visitors' browsers to conduct brute force attacks on other WordPress sites. This malicious activity involves compromising WordPress sites to load these scripts, forcing web browsers to execute brute force attacks on the credentials, and then upload files containing password attempts on the server. So far, over 1,700 sites have been affected by this, and they're serving as a pool of unwitting participants in this distributed brute force campaign. So it's important, if you have a WordPress site, that you're making sure that you're updating it, that you're keeping it patched, that especially all your plugins, if you're not using a plugin, don't just disable it, delete it, remove it. If it's a plugin that you are actively using, make sure you're updating that to the latest version. Make sure your WordPress is updated to the latest version. And make sure that you have MFA and other securities implemented on your WordPress websites as well. If you got any other questions about website stuff, maybe we can do a live stream in a week or two, talk a little bit more about that, or cover that in a blog post. There's definitely a lot that can be done to protect your website from becoming a victim to attacks like this. Now on to today's educational topic, cutting your business's cloud waste. Is your business spending too much on your cloud environment? Proper cloud management can enhance efficiency, cut costs, and maximize the value of your cloud resources. And who doesn't want an effective way to save money on their technology? So here's some smart tactics to consider. There's 9 tips I'm going to be covering today. Number 1, this may come as no surprise, because this is what I talk about all the time when I'm talking about any part of security or IT. Number 1 is conduct a comprehensive cloud audit. Really, before you implement any cost-cutting strategies, you have to know what you've got. You have to have a clear understanding of your current cloud usage and conduct an audit to determine that. Doing this will help you to identify underutilized resources, over-provisioned instances, unnecessary services. And all of these can contribute to increased costs that are wasted. You can use cloud management tools to generate reports, look at usage patterns, costs, and performance metrics. And this initial assessment really forms the foundation for all the other stuff that we're talking about, right? That I'm going to talk about today. The foundation for implementing effective waste reduction tactics. Number 2, it's important to put in place right sizing strategies. Right sizing involves matching your cloud resources to the actual demands of your workloads. Many businesses fall into the trap of over-provisioning. This means securing more user licenses or features than you actually need, which leads to increased costs and unnecessary waste. Analyze your workload requirements and resize instances accordingly. Use tools provided by your cloud service provider. These tools can help to identify and adjust the capacity of instances to ensure that you're only paying for the resources that you actually need. Number 3, use reserved instances and savings plans. Cloud providers offer cost-saving options like reserved instances and savings plans. These allow businesses to commit to a specific amount of usage. It's in exchange for discounted rates. So basically, you commit to 1 year, 2 years, 3 years up front, say, I'm going to use this many resources over this time. And that cloud provider then says, as a result of that, I'm going to give you this discount. You can significantly reduce your cloud costs over time by leveraging these options. Carefully analyze your workload and usage patterns, and then determine the most cost-effective reserved capacity or savings plan that aligns with your business's long-term needs. Number 4, install automated scaling policies. Dynamic workloads have a need for dynamic resource allocation. So it's important that you install these automated scaling policies in your cloud environment. These ensure that your infrastructure scales up or down based on demand. This optimizes performance and also prevents over-provisioning during periods of low activity. Cloud services enable you to set these policies for scaling. One example is AWS auto scaling, as well as the auto scale feature in Microsoft Azure. These features help ensure efficient resource utilization without manual intervention. I also want to say that it's also important for the flip side, right? If you get a whole bunch of traffic coming to your website or an application that you're hosting in the cloud, having the ability to scale up, make sure that your clients, your end users, still have a good experience with that application. Number 5, track and optimize storage. Storage costs can accumulate very quickly. This is especially true when data is not regularly reviewed and archived. Estimate your storage needs and then put in place lifecycle policies to automatically downsize lesser used data, such as transitioning less frequently accessed data to lower cost storage options, such as archive storage. It's important that you regularly review and delete unnecessary data to free up that storage space, and adopt a proactive approach to your storage management. This can lead to significantly reduced costs associated with data storage. Number 6, schedule your cloud resources. This allows you to have them running only when you need them. For example, turn off development, testing, or staging environments during nights and weekends, or scale down your production environment during off-peak hours. Use available tools to automate the scheduling of your cloud resources and base this off of automated rules and policies that you clearly define. Number 7, delete unused or orphaned cloud resources. Sometimes you might forget or neglect to delete cloud resources that you no longer need and are no longer using. This can include snapshots, backups, volumes, load balancers, IP addresses, unused accounts. All of these resources can accumulate over time and incur unnecessary costs. To avoid this, you should regularly audit your cloud environment and delete any of these unused or orphaned resources that your business is not using but still paying for. You can often use cloud provider tools to find and remove these fairly easily. Next, weed out duplicate services. Different departments in the same organization might be using duplicate services. Marketing might use one task management app, while sales uses a different one. Centralize cloud resources and remove these duplicate tools. Having everyone use the same cloud tool for the same function can save money, as well as enhance your collaboration, reporting, and data integration. All right, number 8. Embrace serverless architecture. I had an interesting conversation with one of my employees talking just about this topic earlier today. Serverless computing allows businesses to run applications without managing the underlying infrastructure. You pay only for the actual computer resources used for your processes. This eliminates the need for provisioning and maintaining servers, which reduces both operational complexity and costs. Consider migrating suitable workloads to a serverless model to help you optimize your resource use and cut out cloud waste. And then last of all, implement a budget. This one here is critical and is frequently overlooked. I just spoke with a client of ours earlier this week about this. He has a significant server spun up in AWS. And we were talking about some different things that they can do. And we talked about, hey, do you have a budget in place in AWS? And he said, well, we do now. And the long story is, at one point in time, they made a change in their environment. They did not have a budget in place, and their costs skyrocketed that much very quickly before they even realized they were spending a significant increased amount in their AWS because of a misconfiguration. After that, they worked with AWS and implemented some budgets to make sure that they were going to receive notifications if it looked like they were going to surpass their budget. Most cloud providers allow for you to put in place a budget and receive alerts or notifications if your spend is increasing and is expected to surpass the budget for that month. It's critical as, like I said, sometimes a minor change in settings can result in skyrocketing costs before you're even aware of it. If you've had this happen to you, reach out to your cloud provider because they may be able to say, you know what, hey, it was a mistake. We'll be able to claw back some of that spend and give you a credit for that. Are you struggling with your expanding cloud costs? If you need help identifying and removing any cloud waste, our team can definitely step in and help out. Just give us a call, reach out, schedule a chat. We can talk with you about that. As technology advances, the risk of cyber attacks grows, especially for small businesses. Cyber criminals see small business as less secure and thus easier targets. That's why we've put together an upcoming training session on why you need a cybersecurity risk assessment. A cybersecurity risk assessment, or CSRA, involves a thorough evaluation of your organization's cybersecurity status, pinpointing potential threats and vulnerabilities. The aim is to grasp your current cybersecurity standing and then identify areas for enhancement and improvement. Join us on March 21st at 1 p.m. Pacific time, as we'll be addressing the actionable steps that you can take to identify and mitigate risks in your environment. You can sign up at the link below, and we'll make sure to drop it in the chat as well. Let me see if we've got any questions from the audience before I close out. Doesn't look like I see anything on here. If any of you do have any questions, I'm easy to find, as you can, you're watching me on social media on one of the many channels that we go live to. Thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. Direct message me, post a comment, visit our website, itnet.works. There's multiple ways to get in touch with us. I'd be more than happy to jump on a quick call and answer any questions you have, or cover one of your topics that you'd like covered on a future educational webinar or a future live stream. Have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you guys next week.